Producer, good. Director, Lola, good. Chuck. All right, let's roll. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Matt again, and I've got another crazy analogy for you guys today to understand weight loss, weight gain, how do you maintain it. If you've been struggling to lose weight, then this is probably your reason why. It is true, diet is 80% of it. Exercise is about 20% when it comes to weight loss. Maintaining is a little bit different story. So a couple disclaimers here. I am not a dietitian. My mom is. I love you, Mom. But I have a lot of school. I have a lot of education in this, but more importantly, I have lived this my entire life. If you have been following for a couple weeks, you know I kind of do things over the top. Same with eating. I've struggled with my weight over the years. I've been as high as 225 and as low as 170. And so I've been using MyFitnessPal to track my calories every day for the last 3.5 years. I have not missed a day. There's been times over the last 9 years where I've tracked and I've fallen off, and I need this accountability. I like the science of it. I know if I'm gaining, I know it. If I'm losing, I know it. Everything's planned. I take the guesswork out of it. So I'm going to explain to you an analogy that hopefully will make sense of why maybe you're running more and you're exercising more, but you're not seeing any weight loss at all, if that is your goal. And some of you it's not, so don't worry about it. Fun fact, this train, almost the same exact wallpaper when I was a kid in my comforters. Anyways, we've got your train. That's gonna represent your body. Homer, he's gonna be our model here. Train, body. So just like our body, we have a metabolism. We're gonna have an engine here, and this is our fire. Our fire, it represents your metabolism. Us burning the fuel, which is food or coals, as we put that in, as we put the food in, we burn that. Side note, if I don't feed that fire at all, that fire goes down, the train stops moving. So it's not good to not eat. And also, I don't want to give it everything at all the calories for the day, all the coal for the day in one shot. It's going to burn really high, go fast, and then putter out. And we're not going to get the energy we need for performance or to live that day or whatever. So we've got the caboose. So everybody's got a caboose, not that kind of caboose, but caboose. That's going to be your stored fat. That's going to represent your fat. So we've got all this coal that's in the actual train itself that represents what you're eating in your system that day. And then you've got your caboose out back that's filled with other coal or fat that you at some point didn't use, you stored it. So how do we lose that? How do we cut off the caboose? How do we lose fat? How do we burn there? There's something called a basal metabolic rate. That's a fancy term for how many calories you need a day to sustain. You can find that based off of certain calculations. MyFitnessPal will do it for you. It's based off your age, your gender, your activity level, all sorts of different factors. But we're gonna make this basic. 2,000 calories a day for most people, will say, for me to eat that many to maintain. With our train analogy, we need 2,000 coals per day to keep moving forward. If we don't have enough, we start to lose, so on and so forth. So we need 2,000 just to maintain, just to move. So we're gonna go over some different scenarios. How do we maintain weight? How do we maintain weight with exercise? How do we lose weight? And how do we gain weight? So same idea, same schematic, same metaphor. Here we go. We still got our train, our body, our caboose, that's our stored fat. We've got Homer here. He eats, that's 2,000 calories a day. That's how many calories he needs a day to survive. 2,000 is the number of coals we need to move. So let's say one day he eats 2,000. We got 2,000 coal in the train in the front that we're feeding into the metabolism. We burn that 2,000. Guess what? No surplus, another day, staying exactly the same. So let's go over another example of how I could be exercising and burning more, but still maintaining that weight. And this is where a lot of us fall, because we don't realize the true kind of math of it and the exercise science of it, or the nutritional science. So we've got Homer here. He eats 3,000 calories, but he feels pretty good because he went out and burned, and he went crazy, did 5 miles of running and did a class, whatever, and he burned 1,000 calories. So he's like, all right, well, I earned this donut. I burned 1,000 calories. So he eats a couple extra donuts. So back to the train, we've got now a little bit more coal in the train. We've got 3,000 coals, 3,000 calories in the system. True, we did burn more. We burned that 2,000 just to move, and we exercised, so we burned an extra 1,000 on top of that. But do the math, 3,000, 3,000. no surplus. I'm gonna maintain exactly the same. So this model is what I use for maintaining weight. When I get to the weight that I want, this is what I do. And that way I don't sacrifice performance, and I can maintain the weight, I can exercise. But this, if you're trying to lose weight, this is not gonna do it. That's not gonna be your goal. Sure, could you gain some muscle? Absolutely. But for true fat loss, to burn that caboose, not gonna happen with this scenario. So how do we lose it? How do we actually get to that caboose? Homer, he's good this day. He eats his 2,000 calories. He's recording in MyFitnessPal. He knows exactly how many calories are going in. And then he exercises too. He actually burns 1,000 calories. Does the same day, same workout, a little bit stricter on his eating. And what do we got here? We got coal, the fuel. We got that 2,000, not that extra 1,000 he did the other day. We burned 3,000. 2,000 to move, extra 1,000 of exercise, and guess what? We are at a 1,000 calorie deficit. That's gonna lose weight. We're gonna have to go, in order to keep going, because we need 3,000 calories, we've only got 2,000 coal. We need that coal, we're at a 1,000 calorie deficit. We're gonna go to that caboose, and we're gonna start getting coal from there to burn. That's our fat. We've gotta run out of it here to burn here, and that's the only way that we can do it. So in this scenario, we're gonna lose weight. There's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. To lose 1 pound a week, that's a caloric deficit of 500 calories less a day. This 1,000 calories, it's a lot, and that's gonna lose, if this was every day for 1 week straight, you'd lose 2 pounds a week. Any more than that, you're gonna start losing muscle, you're gonna start losing other things, just like with anything. You don't wanna go too extreme, but this is how you are gonna lose that weight. How do we gain weight? Why does that happen? Well, some of us don't need a schematic to know this, but also just to kind of finish this thing off, we got our boy Homer here. He goes nuts. He goes ham, 5,500 calories. He eats everything possible. So we've got this surplus. We've got a ton of coal in the front of the train, and we're like, all right, we've burned, he didn't exercise. We only needed 2,000. What are we gonna do with this extra 3,500? We got nowhere to put it. Let's go put it in the caboose. Everybody's caboose is different. Where we store fat. Some people have a certain predisposition to one part of the body versus the other. But either way, it's gonna go into storage. And we're not gonna use it until we get to that deficit scenario from before. So again, we said 3,500 calories is 1 pound of fat. So in this scenario, we are gonna gain 1 pound. So all this to be said, there's a correlation with performance. There's an inverse relationship of performance and aesthetics. If you are running at a caloric deficit, it's not easy. It doesn't feel good. You need brain. Your brain needs glucose. It needs food in order to be able to move, to go forward. So it depends on your workouts and planning your workouts accordingly. That's why when I would go and take Orange Theory was my thing, I would know how many calories I burned in a class, about 700 calories. And I made sure with MyFitnessPal, before I took that class, I wanted to make sure whatever calories I had in the tank, minus 700, I was still definitely not at a deficit. So that way I knew my performance was going to be sacrificed if I did not do that. So diet, super important for weight loss. Exercise, you can maintain weight. So think of this, track your calories. We can talk about macros another time, but I don't want to confuse people. This is it, calories in, calories out, no crazy fads, this or that. If it seems too good to be true, it is too good to be true. You got to work at it. This is not easy, but I promise you, I've lived it, I've done it. If you at least take out some of the guessing game of it, then it's discipline. You follow this, it's going to happen. So hope